Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, and if you are a subscriber, welcome back to my channel. Glad you're here. Thank you again for your support. And if you are not a subscriber to my channel yet, so I vlog about my life as an online teacher, and I serve other online teachers as well. I also do Crow Music Lab tutorials. So I have videos for those particular followers as well. So please make sure it is not the last time that you see me by hitting that red subscription button and the bell down below to be notified of new videos every week. And to also give this video a thumbs up. It really does support me and this channel. So for this particular season, you may already been seeing a couple of my videos where I've actually been exclusively vlogging about my life. I'm taking a break from making like specific content videos because I really do feel like I have created, at least for now, a sufficient amount of content videos that can be really helpful and resourceful for online teachers, especially if you are or was a classroom teacher and you are doing, you're leaving the teaching profession and you're thinking, I love teaching, but I do not want to return to the classroom. What should I do? And maybe you have heard of teaching on Outschool or even Allschool, which Allschool is a new online teaching platform that works pretty similarly to Outschool. However, you do get to keep more of your earnings, and the competition right now is relatively low just because it is a new platform and you'll be able to experiment with more times and being able to see more learners for your classes. So there's not really that much competition on Allschool. And speaking of Allschool for this week, it's been quite an adventure for me to try to teach on Classpod, which is Allschool's in-house teaching software program to teach classes on. Now, I will say this week I've been experiencing some technical difficulties with Classpod, although that should not encourage you to say, oh, well, then I guess I should sign up for Zoom instead of Classpod, because one thing that's really great about the infancy stage of Allschool's teaching platform is that if an issue does arise on the Classpod platform, then you can report that to Allschool right away, and any concerns that you have for it or if there's any lag, you can report it to them right away. And this is one of those things that I love about Allschool is like they really take the time to listen to their teachers and the teachers on the platform. And if we are sharing, hey, we're experiencing this issue, they take that into consideration and they make it better for future learners and for the future for teachers on the Allschool platform. So that is one thing that I am really loving about Allschool right now. And I mean, I really think you should put it into consideration to teach on the Allschool platform, but also Outschool as well. So just know that Allschool is going to have a less percentage takeaway, which means you get to keep more of your money, whereas Outschool is going to be about 30% of your pay going to be taken away for their fees. So both are great platforms to teach on, and I teach on both. So some of you that are subscribers subscribe to my channel because you found me for my Allschool videos, which is great. You know, some of you also refer to me as the headband lady. The majority of my videos, I always have a headband on. So now I feel like I have to keep up with the headband. So, but what would happen on Classpod for me personally this week is that it would be time for my class. I would open up Classpod, and then all of a sudden it would go frozen. And it would go frozen. I couldn't change the slides, but I was still able to communicate with the learner on the other side, but then it would just shut down completely. So then I would have to open the app again, get back into the classroom, and try to continue on with the lesson, but then the slides would still stay stuck again. And that was concerning. And it happened twice when I was teaching classes on Allschool for this week. And I kept, messaging Allschool. I'm like, I'm not really sure what's going on. Can you please help me figure out what it is, like what's the issue? Because I don't want to have to keep transferring my classes to Zoom because of technical issues. And I don't know. I had shut down my computer. I deleted Classpod, reinstalled it again. I made sure it was an app on my computer and not just something that you could download right away. So I have, I've done everything that you could do for this, and I was still having the issues. So what Allschool is actually doing is they had like fully booked one of my classes for tonight, and I don't know what that really means. I don't know if that means that I'm gonna actually like see students on there and teach the class, or if I'm going to like talk with like other Allschool personnel to see if maybe like, they come to the class and then I try to like talk and teach the lesson with them, but then, and then they can see if it like shuts down or not, so I don't know. I actually really don't know how that's going to go. So that's going to be like the follow-up for the week, is seeing like how that goes. But I love that they, made one of my classes sold out just for the sole purpose of making sure Classpod still works. Maybe they can try to get to the root of the situation. Super kind of them to do, if we're honest, because there are other platforms I could think of that would not allow that to happen, and you would just report it, to support, and they'd be like, okay, well, we'll just get on with it. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but just knowing that the Allschool team wants to really see what's going on and try to get to the root of the problem and really try to do better for next time is really the whole reason why I stay with Allschool and why I continue to teach with them, is because they really do look out for their teachers and fully support them. And like I said, I'm not saying that Outschool doesn't, or any other online teaching platforms. It just really does seem like the Allschool team just goes above and beyond what is expected of online teaching platforms. So I will do a follow-up video on how that goes with Classpod. Hopefully it can get resolved really soon. And like I said, I'm not trying to discourage you from teaching on Classpod. It's just something that I'm personally experiencing myself. And I also I'm going to do in another video where there were several of you that are already a teacher on the Allschool platform, and you're not 100% sure how to actually schedule a section for your class. Like, you're not exactly sure on the steps. And I have done videos for Allschool specifically, like how to create a section on the Allschool platform. However, maybe some of you have not seen that, or maybe you are still really, really confused. So what I'm going to do also for this vlog is I'm also going to show you what my step-by-step process on what scheduling a section of a class looks like for me, in hopes that it will be of help to you as well. So otherwise, this week, again, because I'm taking it pretty easy, I'm not focusing on any certain projects, and I'm just kind of focused on teaching and trying to offer what I already have, what I've already created to others. So like my new online course, the 5-star online teacher, my ebooks, like I'm trying to find ways to show off what I already have instead of just doing project after project after project. So I'm just taking it easy, focusing on what I really, really wanted to do when I first started being a full-time online teacher, which was teaching. So of course I'm still going to do vlogs for you all, keep you updated, because each week is always going to be changing. There's always going to be something big that happens in the online teaching world, or something big happens with me in terms of what I'm doing, or, you know, just some of the slower weeks like this week. So that may be a lot for the vlog, you know, for like slower stuff. But, you know, if there are things that some of you ask, which if you do have other questions, please let me know down below. All right, I'd be happy to include that in the vlog as well. So yeah, I think it's been really nice to just kind of focus on vlogging and teaching, and not so much on other stuff that I'm doing. I'm still going to do tutorials because I still get a lot of requests for different songs to do on there. And so I'm going to be doing that as well. But yeah, it's nice to slow down on projects, at least. Okay, so I am screen sharing on here to show you the process of how I schedule a section on Allschool for a class. So you want to make sure that you do have a course created on the Allschool platform, which I actually did do another video explaining those steps on how to do that on Allschool. So I'll make sure to leave that on the cards for you to check out if you need to actually create a course on the Allschool platform first. But once you have the course approved, that's when you can go ahead and start scheduling out your approved class. So what you will do first is you will go up to this bar here on the Allschool site. So your home page should look something like this on here. And you want to go to this button here that says classes. We're going to click on classes. And when you click on classes, you will see that you'll have other classes that will have learners, you know, or, you know, just upcoming classes that you have. And what you will do is use this button down here. It says create a new class. So you're going to click on that, and then you will select which course you want to create a class section on. So one of my most popular classes is exploring the solar system. So I will click on that, and it says create a new class. So it will open to this page here. So you are creating a class section to whatever course you are wanting to offer. So what you will see here, so you'll see the visibility, which that just means you want your class to be public for anyone to see, or you want it private where you have the link and you give it to a specific student that wants to sign up. So that can be for like one-on-one lessons or private tutoring, or if you want, similar to like Outschool, maybe you want to throw like have like a birthday party class or like a big story time, and you only want it for certain students, then you would use the private feature with the private link. But let's just say majority of us, when we create a section, we make it public, so for anyone to sign up for the class. So now this is for a one-time class, so this course only meets once, so you only put in one date. So let's say we're choosing a date. I've already scheduled out to the end of July, but let's just say we'll go through until the 9th. So 9th of August. So, or whatever your availability is. And, you know, you could do 2 weeks out. That's good. But we'll talk about like when to schedule classes. A lot of times there's a lot of families that will sign up last minute, and they'll be on the guidance of time scheduling for classes. So it doesn't hurt to either schedule it 2 weeks or more out, or to even do it sooner, especially if you do have a course request that comes in. So let's just choose this date. And I am going to choose one of these time suggestions in my time zone. So I'm in Eastern time zone. And so the time suggestions would be 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. or 5 p.m. to midnight, basically. So since I have been already teaching in the evenings, I'm going to go ahead and choose 8 o'clock. I'm going to choose 8 o'clock at night. So, or it's nighttime for Louisville. It would be 8 a.m. a Beijing time. Or if you do have learners that sign up on the Western Coast, like in Pacific time zones, that would be 5 o'clock their time. So you could still see those students for the 5 o'clock time zone too. So I definitely think that this suggestion for times is accurate. And I'm not just saying that, you know, because that's what Allschool says. Like, I have seen success in the evening time zones, especially for the summer months, since there are a lot of students that are on break, and, you know, maybe, you know, they're not going on vacation, or they do have holidays coming up. I feel like I can find really good success in the evenings for like West Coast families, but also like Beijing time families as well. So you kind of get the best of both worlds when you do the evenings. Although there's nothing wrong with doing early in the mornings if that is all you can do. Just know that I have found more success in the evenings than I have in the mornings recently. So, and this button here, the add a session time, so this will mean you are adding a separate section. So that doesn't mean that this is the same section of kids. Like, it'll still be a brand new session. It's just bulk scheduling, which I think is a nice feature. So what you can do, you can click on that and then you can add another time. So I'll do the same thing here, where I'll add the same class, same time, just on a different date. And you can add up to 20 on Allschool, which I think is really nice and makes scheduling out classes a lot easier than, say, the Outschool platform, where you have to do it individually, you know, one at a time. I mean, they do have the bulk schedule open too, and it's relatively easy as well, but it's not like this easy where it like stays on the same page. Just throwing that out there. All right, when we scroll down, you do have the option to teach either on, so you do have to only teach on Classpod. There was an option to teach on Zoom, so I'm assuming Zoom is only for emergencies now. So maybe that's why I'm having issues with Classpod, is because there's a lot more teachers using Classpod. So, So, and as I'm filming this, there's still the 10% platform fee, which is phenomenal compared to 30% on Allschool. Also just throwing that out there. But I know, as I just shared, that there was experiences on my end. I think I know why, but we'll just have to wait and see when I do the test class tonight. So it was still very kind of them to just buy out the whole class just to see how that all pans out. So next is the class canceled automatically. And this is where you have a choice on how many learners you desire to have in your class. So Allschool still likes to offer like one-on-one. So if there is only one student, they prefer that you still teach one student. So, but there is a feature where it'll say on here, you know, if the first session of your class has fewer than one learner enrolled, you know, 12 hours before the start time, the whole class will be automatically canceled. So maybe you need 2 or 3 learners. So you would click on that, you know, whatever number it is that you would need to cancel. You know, that it would be like, well, it would be better if there were 3 learners instead of 2. So I would still put 1 if you're able. I understand some classes you do kind of need more learners to have the class be effective. So I get that. So your class will automatically be canceled if it's 12 hours before the class time. If there's no learners or whatever, if it doesn't reach the certain amount. You can uncancel it. Pretty similar to Allschool, but just be aware that, you know, you may have a learner come on last minute, or, you know, or maybe you don't, and if it's closer to time and there's no learners, then cancel. But, I mean, you never know. So, available spaces would be next. So, they do make notes on here. Note that 1 to 4 learners is a popular class size. So, you know, and that's because Allschool prides itself on having smaller classes, like way smaller classes. So that's what I recommend, but also it just depends on the age levels that you teach, and it also depends on the type of class that you're offering. You know, like if you're doing a full-on birthday party, like, you may need more. I mean, unless it's a really small birthday party. But that is a thing. If you need to change your class sizes, this is just Allschool's recommendation. But of course, depending on your needs for your classes is going to depend on you and what you feel is best. So for the pricing model, you can only do purchase for one-time classes. The subscribe button is for like multi-day or ongoing classes. So, which I'm going to scroll back up just a little bit. So when for multi-day and ongoing classes on Allschool, for the session time, you're going to have to put in the dates that allow, you know, if it's like 5 days, you would have to put in 5 dates for multi-day. Or if it's ongoing, then you can, you know, then you add as many dates as you possibly can, or for as long as you want the class to meet, essentially. So just be mindful of that you have to put in at least 4 dates, especially for ongoing, and then that you have to put in the required amount of days for the multi-day class. So, and then you're going to put down your price. So I put down 15. Of course, if, you know, pricing can be up to you. Some teachers do $10. Some teachers do less. Some teachers do more. Again, it just depends on the learner. I feel like $15 is fair. When I first started on Allschool, I had a solar system class there. I offered it for $10. It was a hit. You know, great. and it kept selling out, which is wonderful. But at the same time, I thought, well, you know, I feel like what I have to offer is of worth. So I started raising my price up a little bit more. And I do this here, and I still get learners signed up for the class. So, you know, if they really want to take a class with you, you know, the price doesn't matter. Just make sure that the price is fair. That's it. So then when you got everything, you want to confirm, and then confirm creation, confirm. And then you have already created your section. Now, because I've already created a lot of classes, it's going to be like all the way down at the bottom. So, and these are just future sections. So, but it's there. You've already created it, and it's going to be open and available to families, you know, looking for that date or for that particular class. So that is how you schedule a class section on Allschool. Hello everyone. So this is a follow-up video to what I was sharing yesterday or the day before in terms of like videoing, where Classpod was acting up, and I ended up doing a class last night, and it wasn't like a class. It was actually the Allschool team logging into the classroom and trying to figure out, like, why did Classpod start acting up the way that it did, like earlier in the week. And like, they were really cool about it, and they were patient with me as I was trying to navigate like how to like get into another meeting with them so that they could get access to like my computer stuff to see what was really going on and do like some coding things. Like, it is some real dedication for them to do that for me, and not going to complain, because obviously, like, you know, they do actually value your time. And if that means they give that money to you, like through Classpod, to try to figure everything out, then, you know, so be it. Like, I thought that was so kind for them. And that's another reason why I stay with Allschool, is because they really do care about the teachers on the platform. And I know, once again, I'm not saying that the other platforms don't care about their teachers, but as I mentioned before, they go above and beyond expectations for us. And I could not be any happier for them, like, taking the time with me and figuring out what seems to be the issue, what's causing you to have these issues with Classpod. Let's fix it. That's the key thing for all of that, is they were willing to fix it. And that makes me really happy, because now the hopes, because I do have a class later in the evening, is that the class will go just fine. And even when I did try to open up Classpod, it did seem like it didn't try to shut down again. And even with the meeting, we, you know, it didn't seem like it was shutting down then either. So, you know, we thought overall it went really good. We felt like the problem was fixed. So once again, you know, I would still recommend taking your classes on Classpod, which we've already kind of seen in the video that is the only option. So just don't be afraid. And if you do need further assistance on working Classpod, I did make a video on how Classpod looks and has, and you know, and give you some better insight on what goes on Classpod. I may have to do an updated video eventually, especially if like new pretty important features go on the Classpod app. I'm gonna have to do another tutorial and step-by-step process. So yeah, and so I'm basically wrapping up my work week because as I'm filming this, Stranger Things Volume 2 has not been released yet. So tomorrow, because I have no classes, so tomorrow meaning July 1st, you know what I'll be doing. And once again, when you see this, like, it'll already be past that date. So I'm sure by then everybody knows what happens. So, oh, the joys. Oh, the joys of life. So I'm going to stop here for now. So for next week, I'm going to be sharing with you something that is going to be, I don't know how to explain it, but it's just, this is one of the things that like online teachers should be great at, adapting to change. So I don't want to reveal it yet. That's going to be in next week's video. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.